Hi everybody, this is Janet Wright, and this is a recap video where I tell you everything that I did in today's Mini Triplet group energy healing. Today's date is October 17th, 2017, and it's Tuesday, so today was the third of the 3 healings within a week. Mini Triplets are 3 healings in 1 week. Friday, Sunday, and Tuesday. So today's the finale healing. And it was later in the day, in part because I was studying people's surveys and then studying what the angels pointed out to me from those surveys. And so it was cool. So today's theme is ending disempowering agreements. Ending disempowering agreements from present and past lives. When I looked, it was really much any agreements that people were ready to clear at this time, but about half of them were from past lives and half were from this life, roughly, for each person. You could post at the bottom, hey Janet, how many of mine were from past life versus this life, or whatever, if you want, or just use your intuition too. But yeah, in general, it was about half of the agreements were from past lives. Although there are some people that have specifically worked on ending agreements quite a bit with all their genetic family members and stuff. So I think with them it was more like 80% from past lives and 20% from this life. So I guess it did vary. Okay, so the reasoning why, because the theme of this triplet healing set is self-healing and opening up your self-healing abilities and sort of maxing out your daily self-healing potential. So not like having some great meditation once a week, but on a regular basis, on a daily basis, having little micro decisions that you make that just make your day more sane and healthy and make you more whole and self-nurturing every step of the journey. So self-healing is basically empowerment. In a way, because if you can heal yourself, you can make yourself whole, no matter what's happened to you in your past lives, this life. It may take a lot of time and very consistent determination and good technique, which, I provide information on good technique stuff for free, so you got the good technique part, that's, you put a check mark on that. Just having the agreement in your energy field can be sort of like a barrier to you, continuing to use your self-healing abilities. So I think this is part of the backlash that some people experience when they awaken with these healings and the information, they start using it and they're like, oh my gosh, I can see better, I can use my arm channels better and more comes out of my hands so I can heal myself. And then all of a sudden they have awful sleep. Actually, for most people, it was the opposite. They had great sleep. But, I want to help everybody. So some people had really colossally bad sleep, and it was because of these agreements. If self-healing is basically, almost synonymous with empowerment, then you do need to end disempowering agreements, because otherwise you'll start healing yourself and you'll open up your energy and you'll feel great, and then all of a sudden something invariably happens to just kind of block you up all over again, in a big way. Some things happen, but there are people where it seems like they really have a ceiling. Actually, I think most people have sort of like a limit, and so they can grow, but then it's like they bump up against this wall and they just can't progress further. And so that's the thing, that sometimes these walls are agreements that we have with people, somewhere on the planet or in heaven. But if they're in heaven, they're not really in present time invested in oppressing you. Say if it's an oppressive agreement or a, let's say a disempowering agreement, they're kind of on vacation from it, but still it ties them up, it ties you up. So that's what we focused on today, was to end disempowering or oppressive agreements between you and other people from this and past lives, or even in some cases you and spirits from this or past lives. Spirits meaning like spirits, like just like little beings, not people. When I mean people, I'll say people. In this case. Okay, so but I noticed, I was looking, and it was, depending on the person, but it was, a lot of times it was like 3/4 of these agreements were with people that you either know now or you knew in past lives, at sort of 50-50 now in past lives. And then 25% were with, spirits or beings that maybe you were around one of your loved ones in a past life, and so somehow you got in some sort of disempowering agreement with them, probably subconsciously. But anyway, so that's what I wanted to do. That's what we did in this healing, was to end those agreements. And as usual, since the participants, there are 46 participants that are, very varied in their how much they do energy work, if at all. And some a lot of people are big hardcore energy geeks, and so they totally do work their energy, but some people don't, and so I really wanted to, particularly people who get suggested by their loved ones, when they have telepathic consent only, then they're not gonna like meditate a lot tomorrow. So I gotta make it like very customized, so that Betty Boop, who doesn't meditate, only clears this much, whereas Betty Boop, maybe, what's another cute name? Betty Boop doesn't meditate. And then Jackie Joy, she does meditate, and so she's ready to clear this much, so then I definitely was like always letting people know, okay, we're gonna only clear as much as is healthy and gentle for you to clear at this time. All right, so this healing was 25 minutes long this time, and we did start with the tricolor earth energy soak, which is a video, as you probably know if you've seen any of the recent videos I talk about it. It's a 6-minute video called Tricolor Earth Energy Soak of mine. It'll be easy to find in my list of videos. But because I modified it in a cool way. So we did for 5 minutes a tricolor earth energy soak, but I was doing other stuff with everyone at the same time. So let's do a tricolor earth energy soak as I describe what I did. How's that? That's cool. Okay, so imagine you're grounding, big wide grounding, as wide as your whole aura, so big poofy aura, big flowing poofy aura, right? And so your grounding is this wide, and hopefully goes up to your third, I think is nice, and then all the way down to the center of the earth, so literally the core of the planet, right? So it's let's make a big red grounding with your imagination, big red grounding all the way down to the center of the earth, and keep it nice and wide as your whole aura, and make it as high as your third chakra, right here where your sternum ends, right there. And nice red grounding, and make sure it's anchored at the bottom, at the core, the center of the earth, and just use that grounding to not only release whatever you want to release right now, which is nice, but then bring up an extra amount of earth energy, red earth energy, your favorite shade of red, all the way up through your grounding, all the way up. This is a little faster than the video does it, but probably because more than half of you have done this video a lot. So just bring the earth energy up above your shoulders, above your neck, above your face. Relax your face, relax the back of your head. And just let it go up all the way through all the layers of your aura. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you're basically soaking in this gorgeous red earth energy, just the same amount as maybe you would have naturally in like an old growth forest, you know, some really nice positive energy forest, which is redundant, of course. An old forest is going to be positive energy, but anyway. So then you're sitting in this red earth energy, and just keep it up there as long as you want. I mean, you could always bring it down if you don't like that, but I'm gonna just soak up in it and keep it all the way up, you know, all this nice red earth energy. Just keep it coming up, so you just soak, you know, all your bones and muscles, all those aches and pains, just let them soak with the red earth energy. And so then while that was cooking and soaking, let's say, I comb through people's aura. So go ahead and do that. You know, a copy of your aura out in front of you, and just, you know, big bubble, right? And you're in there, your body and your spirit's body, and then both auras are sort of together because you're present, right? And just comb through your aura. And I just reminded people at this time, you know, hey, let your aura take up space. You know, because it just seemed like people had this sort of little cautious, or some people much more than that, like really stressed out and sort of retracted, almost like a turtle in their shell, you know? So I was like, hey, it's okay, let your aura take up space. So I just combed through it, you know, kind of like this, above the head, below the feet, you know, all in the back. Just, hey, let your aura take up space, because there was some compression here, of course, behind the head. And down here, I help people just release a lot. So probably right about now, then I brought it down. You can bring your grounding down to your third chakra again, and then just change your grounding color to an orange, or destroy it and recreate it at orange, whichever works for your brain. And then, so it's this beautiful shade of orange that you really like, and it goes all the way around you, right? All the way down the center of the earth, and then bring up an extra amount of orange earth energy all the way up from the center of the earth, and let it soak your ankles and your lower legs and your knees and your thighs and your hips and your stomach, all your intestines. You have all these nerves in your intestines. So like, just indulge and just let your intestines have lots of orange earth energy. Your stomach, just bring it all the way up through your aura, all the way up above your shoulders, neck, face, above your head, up in the top of your aura, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, all those 7 layers above your head, nice orange earth energy. And if you want, just leave it up there so you're soaking fully in the orange earth energy. And then with it up like that, I combed through more of the aura, and then I had everyone bring it down to the third chakra, the grounding level and earth energy level, down to the third chakra. And then I had everyone change it to their favorite shade of orange, yellow, productivity yellow, right? Bring it up. If you haven't seen a million of these videos, there was a guy who was like, yellow's for girls, and then I was like, it's for productivity. He's like, oh, why didn't you tell me? He's like, bring on the yellow. So bring up the yellow earth energy all the way up from the center of the earth, an extra amount, just like the same amount that you'd get in like a really great old growth beautiful forest. Just bring up this orange earth energy, yellow yellow earth energy up through your neck, your jaw, your back of your head, your face, your skull. Just let your brain soak in orange earth energy, just so it can release all sorts of stresses, all sorts of distractions. And just let the earth energy rise even more above the layers of your aura, above your head, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, all the way up to the top of your aura. So nice yellow earth energy, and you can just leave it there for a little bit if that's comfortable for you. It is for me. And so just leave it there for a sec more. So then I was like, well, the angels were like, you haven't done much with the front of the aura, which was interesting that they would point it out like that, because as far as being expanded, most people, that's the biggest part of everybody's aura. Like even when they don't work their aura and they have all sorts of imbalances, they have like, they're kind of too big in the front, you know? So it was interesting, you know, because I was, with the other parts of the aura, I was like, okay, people, let your aura take up space. But for this part of the aura, what they meant was that when energy is triggered, it's in front. When energy blocks are triggered, it's right in the front of the aura. So by taking more care of the front of the aura, you clear your triggers. Remember one participant, she said on a survey that she was like it was kind of like she was sleepwalking, but she said it differently. But she said, like, you know, I was in a sleeping wake state or something like that. But anyway, I think, I mean, among other things, she had a lot of energy blocks triggered in the front of her aura. So just comb through the front of your aura. I'm using a doll, but you know, you don't need a doll. Just, you know, imagine, okay, a big, you know, round bubble, which is a mini copy of your current aura. And okay, so this part's the front, right? And just because your nose is here and you're facing forward, so then, you know, comb through the front, and your intention is that the gold light, and you're still soaking in all that yellow earth energy, which is awesome. Go productivity, right? And then just comb through the front of your aura, and just with the gold light, find all those hard energy blocks that are still triggered, that might make you feel like I found some good ones this morning. Good, you know. I had this feeling like I had to catch up, you know, because I mean, I had been doing certain projects that were sort of big, and so then other things had to wait, you know. So I thought, oh well, that's why I feel like I have to catch up. And the angels were like, is it really, Janet? Because a lot of times when you're stuck, you don't realize you're stuck. You just think, well, of course I feel that way, blah, 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 blah. So there were these energy blocks like right in front here that, you know, they were triggered energy blocks that was making me feel like, oh, I have to catch up. I have to catch up. I have to catch up. I just have to catch up. So once I cleared all those, then I was like, hey, I'm fine. You know, and I've sort of got this, you know, more like, I don't know, it's working. So anyway, just comb through the front of your aura, and you're gonna get some energy blocks that, you know, maybe you're justifying how stressed you are. Like, oh, of course I feel like I have to catch up. Do you know what my life is like? Or of course I feel anxiety because blah, blah, blah. I don't have a roommate now. Oh my goodness. Just find the energy blocks, you know, that are making you like be obsessed about finding your new job, or obsessed about getting a promotion, or you know, obsessed about, you know, or just feel like pressured, you know, and clear them. You know, you'll still, of course, maybe need a roommate, or maybe have to do some other projects that you've put off, but you'll really do them better, you know. So so just the copy of your aura out in front of you, and find the front part, and just because you're in a profile right now, you can turn it around as whatever you want, you know. So just find the front part and just comb through it with gold light, and you're gonna melt away the energy blocks. And sometimes people cord to those energy blocks. Well, yeah, usually the bigger ones probably have, you know, maybe like at least half a dozen people corded into them. And people just do that. I mean, it's subconscious. People don't know they're doing it. And some perfectly nice people and overall pretty respectful people will do it too. So, you know, it's okay, but you got to melt the cords off sometimes before the energy blocks clear. So just imagine one big energy block, you know, they tend to be like flat and big, you know, like maybe even this big, you know, as big as your meditation journal when it's open, or maybe they're this big. You know, they could be like only half as big, like this big, but you know, whatever. We're looking for, you know, just one energy block that's affecting your mood, or your time management, or your sleep, or your emotions, and just melt away everybody's cords. It's probably like big and black. This energy block is maybe from a past life, but you don't realize that. You think it's because, you know, you had to do this project on Friday and now you're behind and blah, 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 you know, but it's just you creating new crises that match this old one. So just, you know, it's like a big, like a, you know, it's like this, and it's got some thickness to it. So just, you know, the more you melt it with gold light, the thinner it gets. And the more it just kind of, you know, breaks up until, you know, at some point it just fully dissolves. So just keep going, be patient, wiggle your toes. Oh, I was listening to one of my recordings. It's a good one. It's an hour-long one. You can download from my website, Releasing Repressed Emotion and Fear. It's an hour, and you can get it with background sounds, which I love, of course. There's bird sound one, there's ocean wave sound, and there's one with no background. But in part of that, I tell people wiggle their nose like a bunny rabbit, which I really like. I don't do it well, but it's kind of fun, and it'll definitely bring you into your body. You're thinking about a bunny rabbit, you know. I think it's like an inner child. It's good for the inner child. So anyway, just you know, wiggle your feet, wiggle your nose, and just keep melting that energy black. What the wiggling does is it brings you back to your body, and it keeps your energy kind of lighter and less serious. So that means you're not over trying, which means it'll work faster. And then at some point you just get this feeling of like, I think it's actually gone, you know? And if you don't get that feeling, you feel like, no, there's still something there, just hand the whole darn thing to your angels. Just be like, okay, here you go. Angels, can you please get rid of this for me? Yay. Okay. So then, I did that in a different way because I was, you know, you weren't there consciously to talk to you. I mean, I did telepath everyone as I was working, but basically I did it this way, send gold light to the front of everybody's aura. So then now you can go ahead if you want and bring the yellow earth energy down, but I think I'm going to keep mine up for the whole recap. I always could use some extra earth energy. Okay. So that was 5 minutes of the healing. And as I say a lot in these videos, I can do things pretty like faster. People's spirits are, because I'm communicating with a deeper part of you than your conscious self. Even though I know a lot of you are pretty deep folks, you're when you telepath with somebody, it's like a deeper part of you even, usually. So then we redid the gold aura buffer zones, which wow, like that's so wild. Like, I mean, I'm not trying to hype up a technique of mine, because I mean, I keep making new ones. I'm not like, oh my god, you know, promoting my own technique. Like, I mean, it's not like I've patented it or I make money off it anyway, but you know, it's just wild. Like when I get an email, or you know, when I read a survey and I'm like, and someone's like, oh my god, all this bad stuff's happening and I'm depressed and I have PMS and blah 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 blah, and I'm like, yeah, they're not recreating their gold aura buffer zones, you know. So it makes a big difference. So anyway, the gold aura buffer zones, they are big. They're at there's something that you create yourself, and you put them at the end of your aura, at the edges of your aura. So your aura, if your aura is like 2 feet all around you, everywhere, then the gold aura buffer zones is like another 6 feet after that. So 6 feet of nothing but gold universal healing energy. It's totally, I said in a video, it's magnificent, and it really is. Like, it looks magnificent, like this, you know, this huge sort of, you know, flowy, beautiful force field of you know, gold universal healing energy. It's like so nice, and it seems to make a huge difference, because people can damage it, but then you tend to notice it, but in a much more subtle level than if people rip through your aura. If people rip through your aura, then you all of a sudden feel really awful, and you have trouble focusing and thinking and dealing with it. And but if people rip through your gold aura buffer zone, you're like, oh, something's going on. Oh yeah, let me make a new one, you know? And so you don't really get harmed anywhere near what would happen if you didn't have your gold aura buffer zones. So, I'm going to do the quick version of the gold aura buffer zone. because we did it in this healing. We redid them 2 times. Just because I wanted to, I don't know, the angel said to do it, and I feel like it's good practice. So if you have never gotten a gold aura buffer zone, it might be nice to do the walkthrough that's like a 3-minute walkthrough, like somewhere in the middle of the October 1st Mini Triplet group recap video. October 1st, 2017, gold aura buffer zones. But anyway, assuming you already know what they are, okay, so just get rid of the big gold aura buffer zone that you have, and then create 2 new ones, right? Because one for your physical body's aura and then one for your spirit body's aura. Really important to create both, because your spirit body's aura, that's the one that, you know, is you, first of all, and that's the one when you're sleeping, for safety in your sleep, is your gold aura buffer zone for your astral body aura. So just, you know, first get rid of your physical body's gold aura buffer zone and create a brand new one, you know, all around you, 6 feet of gold universal healing energy. You know, fill it in, lots of gold light everywhere, right? All the way above you, below you, to your sides, behind you, in front of you. 6 feet of flowing, beautiful gold healing energy, universal healing energy. And then for your astral body aura, destroy the gold buffer zone that you have and create a brand new one. Beautiful, 6 feet, flowing everywhere, gold, universal healing energy. Fill it in extra, just lots and lots of gold light. Beautiful gold aura buffer zone. So no fear, no resistance, just totally like aligned with your positive change and your spiritual path, and, you know, receiving angel divine assistance. You know, beautiful gold light, 6 feet of it all the way around you, on all the outsides of your aura. Just beautiful, beautiful. All right, good job, guys. So we did that twice in the healing, just in a row. And well, and then, you know, in between, I just combed through, so you can do that too, just for fun. Like, so a copy of your aura out in front of you, and then notice the gold aura buffer zone that's around it right now, and then just comb through it, comb through the gold aura buffer zone, and just kind of put extra gold universal healing energy into it, and just, you know, just admire how beautiful it is and magnificent. Yeah. Okay, cool. All right. Then we got to the clearing agreements part. So this part was about 7 minutes into the healing. Was when we did the we used the blanket exercise to do it. If you want practice on this technique, go use the blanket exercise video, which I will link once again at the end of this recap, I'm sure. I hope I remember. But anyway, so we used a blanket. So you make this big gold, you know, like a picnic blanket, you know, spread out in front of you, in front of your aura, you know, in front of your buffer zone too, if you want to think about that, and just spread it out. And I had people put any agreements that they were ready to clear, you know, just like, sometimes they look like scrolls, you know, like old, you know, like wood sticks with parchment around them, you know, like old school like things, you know. But an agreement can be represented by whatever you want, you know, by like a, you know, like a rock, or, you know, a book, or but scrolls are kind of cool. So anyway, just put any agreements that are disempowering or oppressive, that would be gentle and healthy for you to clear right now, and just, you know, heap them all onto that blanket. Okay, any agreements that you are ready to clear right now that are disempowering or oppressive, or both, and that it would be healthy and gentle for you to clear right now. And the funny thing is, at that point, what I did is I helped people melt it with gold light, which we'll get to, I promise. But then it worked actually better when I had people divide their remaining pile into 2, because I think we're all so eager, like, let's clear a whole bunch. Yeah, this is okay. And it's true that it's okay for you to clear, you know, today, you know, like say in the next 5 minutes. But do you need to clear it all like in the same instant? No, you know, so go ahead and divide your pile into 2 piles. You know, if you want 2 different blankets, or it's a big blanket, so two piles fit on the same blanket, and melt them one at a time. So go ahead and melt one of your blankets, one of your piles. If you want, you know, put one pile in front, one pile closer to you, one pile further away from you, or one pile on the left, one pile on the right. It doesn't matter. But this way you're only doing half at a time, which is easier, and easy is good. So just, you know, lots of gold light, and again, wiggle your nose like a rabbit. I'm just wiggling my face. I don't know if I could just wiggle my nose. Maybe wiggle your toes. I can do that. I'm good at that. All right, so just lots of gold light, maybe from your hands, or gold suns, or gold flamethrowers, and just, you know, melt down these agreements. So with gold light, you're releasing yourself from this agreement. You're ending the agreement. You can always end agreements. Always, always, always. So just, these are the, you know, you can even, if you're nervous about this, just have your angels double check your pile and remove anything that you shouldn't end right now from the pile. I asked my angels, they're like, oh, Janet. But okay, so I mean, with the criteria that we already said, that it's healthy for you and gentle for you to clear right now, then obviously you don't need that step. But I'm just saying, I know some of you are kind of worriers, so you can always have your angels double check and be like, okay, angels, you know, if this pile isn't what I should clear right now, remove something from the pile, you know, so then you're good to go, right? And so just melt one of your piles, lots of gold light or gold fire, gold water, whatever you want. Or you could blow it up, as long as you make sure it fully destroys. But I'm gonna melt it, and just, you know, there may be a little bit left, but just like then, you know, wiggle a little more so that you're not over trying. There you go. So my pile melted, my first pile melted. So let's do the second pile. So go ahead and melt the second pile. And again, these are disempowering or oppressive agreements. And you don't have to worry if they're with people or spirits. It doesn't matter. It's same difference. It's just agreements that you have from this life or past lives. Again, the distinction is interesting, but not really necessary at this time. They're just agreements that you're ready to get rid of, and they would be healthy and gentle for you to get rid of at this time. So just, you know, lots of gold light and melt away your pile. And the gold light, it just releases you from the agreement, and it clears the agreement, which technically is good for the other person too, because it's not good karma for them to be in an oppressive agreement with somebody. I mean, you know, we're assuming that they're the oppressor and you're not, but I guess it could be the other way around, you know, maybe from a past life, you know. So it's not good for anybody that this agreement continues. So you're doing a good thing. It's a win-win. Helps you and it helps the other person. So more gold light, just keep melting the leftover pile. There you go, mine is gone. So that felt good. Oh yeah, so then I noticed that once again, some people needed to supersize their body chakras. And I started thinking, well, you know, it's an easy, quick thing for people to do, but maybe there's something that people could clear so that they wouldn't have to do it so often. They wouldn't keep needing to supersize their body chakras. There's 7 chakras of their physical body. Because, I mean, well, the spirit chakras could need body supersizing also, but the body ones most usually need supersizing so that they're bigger and roomier, so then when your spirit comes in, it just feels more comfortable. So, what I did is, which I don't think I'm going to walk you through right now, but you can put it on your blanket list in your meditation journal if you have one. You could do it on your own. We did a blanket exercise I did with everybody's spirit, all 46 people. Put on the blanket any limits, any energy blocks or limiting agreements that are healthy and gentle for you to release right now, that make it harder for you to be present and in your body, and, you know, inhibit the flow. and size of your body chakras. And so that you don't have to keep supersizing all the time, even though it's easy. But, you know, so that was good. So it should be interesting. I think you're going to have to, you know, maybe if you work it for a few days in a row. But even it could be that just people get the healing and then they realize that they just have a more lasting, nice fit into their body chakras, into their body, basically. So then it was the last 5 minutes of the healing. And the sample person that the angels picked out was actually our youngest participant in this triplet set. Usually I don't remember who's who, because there's so many sample people throughout the healing. But it was our 7-year-old who's doing the healing. We have a 7-year-old boy, a 10-year-old boy, and then another 10-year-old boy. But anyway, he had burdens on his shoulders, and from past lives. And, you know, like the weight of the world on your shoulders, that idea. And so, I mean, that's sort of what that common expression refers to, is that a lot of times people have energy blocks above their shoulders, and it literally makes you feel like, you know, the world is sort of sitting on your shoulders and it's very heavy, you know. So, so we did another blanket exercise, which you could do using what I'm about to rename the blanket video. But anyway, you can put that, if you want, in your blanket list in your meditation journal, which is just, you know, a cheat book that you write things in when you reflect and think about your energy and meditate, maybe, or just, you know, jot down how you feel some days. But anyway, some people, I mean, you know, you can do that in a note-taking thing on your phone if you really want. I like the kind of the old school thing of this, but I'm 47, so maybe some of the younger folks prefer to take notes on their own phone. I do have a smartphone. I just like having a paper journal. It's comforting. Okay, so yeah, so you can put on your blanket list energy that is making you feel burdened, particularly on your shoulders, you know, energy blocks inside and above your shoulders that are burdens, and they can be from past lives or this life, doesn't matter. Just, you know, burdens on your shoulders, you know, and just do a blanket exercise to clear that. And I healed the first layer of the aura around people's shoulders, and I healed the inside of people's shoulders, and I even healed, you know, the whole arm, you know, which you could do on your own. You know, just imagine a copy of just your shoulders out in front of you, you know, and just surround them in gold light and gold fire if you want, and just, you know, thread the gold light or the gold fire through the actual shoulder and through the you know, through the shoulder. And then sometimes, like right here, it seems like you can get more energy blocks even. I mean, you can get energy blocks here too, but even more in here, it seems like. So I help people clear that, and then I did the whole arm with people too. Then I had, then it was like we were already over, because it went 25 minutes, this healing. I generally aim for 20 minutes, because it's really deep work. But anyway, I asked everyone to ask their angels to heal their shoulders and their arms and their hands, you know, so they can heal themselves better and use this flow for creativity and healing and productivity and all sorts of great stuff. And so you could do that right now. I could walk you through that. That's quick. So go ahead, ask your angels in your mind. Just say, angels, please heal my arms and my shoulders and clean them out for me, and my hands and my hand chakras and my fingertip chakras. That's nice. Mine are still working on me. Woohoo, go, go. That's very nice. Then to wrap up I did a couple things. But I did them kind of fast at the end. I combed through the front of the aura again. And why the front? Because when energy gets triggered, it's right here in the front. So maybe there's something that was left over, about, disempowering agreements from the healing, or maybe just something from what happened in their day earlier, so lots of gold light here. Just, have a copy of your aura out in front of you in the front of your aura, and just melt away anything that got triggered from this video, got triggered from your last day, your last week, heck, your last year. Anything you're ready to clear right now, so that this stuff doesn't just keep, making you feel pressure and stress. Just melt it away with the gold light. You're working the front of your aura, which is basically where things that are half triggered or fully triggered are floating around in the front of your aura. Things meaning energy blocks, big chunks of energy. So just comb through that, melt away whatever you're ready to release right now. That's nice. Then I did sticky gold wax with people, which I walked through in the last video, so I'm not going to do that. But the last video was October 15th, 2017. I don't know, don't hurt me, but I walked through either in the October 15th or the October 13th video. I talk about sticky gold wax in both videos, I'm sure. But you can, when you do it on yourself, you can do all 7 chakras actually all at once. At first I just did 6 through 1 and then 7 separately, just because they're oriented differently. Like 7th is oriented this way, round opening at the bottom, round opening at the top, and 6 through 1, 6 all the way down to 1 are oriented like this way. So round opening in the front, round opening in the back. But it doesn't matter, because gold wax is like nice and mushy and melted when you put it on, and so it can cover all the surfaces, no matter what. And then just here I am walking you through it. Compulsive teacher. And then just lots of gold sticky wax, universal healing energy that just, forms itself around the chakra to pick up. And your intention is it's going to pick up anything that you are ready to release at this time that's gentle and healthy for you to release. And then just, you're going to take off the sticky wax. You can like sort of, break it right in down the center, and then just, so it's in 2 halves, and then just go, and then just give it to your angels. Say, angels, can you please take that? And so whatever you're ready to release goes with the wax to your angels. And then you have a nice roomier fit. And there were people that said that they had a lot of people had better sleep because of the sticky gold wax technique on all the body chakras in particular, on the 7 body chakras. And then I just, overall just healed the 7 chakras just a little bit extra. And then, I just telepath people, hey, the healing's over, just, you can work with your angels and let your angels help and guide and protect you tonight in your sleep and every day. Bye. So that's what I did in the healing. So I hope that makes sense, and I hope you learned a lot. And if you have any comments at all or questions, feel free to post them under the video, and please give it a thumbs up so that YouTube values it and shows it to more people. Oh, and I will right now again display the topics for the triplet sets for the whole rest of the year. And you do have to sign up, like you can't sign up like the day before or something, or sign up by paying, but you can't do it the day before, because I need a breather time where I think it's like, I want to be able to close them by the Saturday before, but I also want them to sell out. So please don't procrastinate, just jump in. You see the topic, you're like, oh my God, I'd be a fool not to do that one, and plus it's like, they're all around the holidays. So yay, like those are great times to get a little fixed up and a little extra inspired. And, it's awesome. Okay, bye. Look up. There we go. There's Daisy. A little more. Come on. Come on. Up here. There we go. What a good girl. You're a good girl. You're a good girl. Okay. So there's Daisy.